I'm in Carline right now. I'm back in the Carline. Friends, we're not going to get into all the personal stuff, but the Lord Jesus put my family back together the way it needs to be. So, friends, I haven't been doing my Bible studies like I need to, because I need to learn and I need to help teach some of y'all. So, friends, we're going to do a little reading while we're waiting in the car line. I got about another 5-10 minutes or so. So, look, friends, this is the Bible that I picked up when I was living in the van down by the river, friends. It ain't too bad, you know. It's a nice Bible. It zips up. I bought one for my daughter, too, so she can learn. So, look, friends, today, very quickly, we're gonna go to John 15. We're gonna start number 1, friends. It says, Jesus, the true vine. I don't know, friends. The line's moving pretty quick. Let's see how far we can get. We're not gonna rush it, friends. Friends, it says here, chapter 15, verse 1. This is Jesus speaking, friends. It's in red. It says, I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. Verse 2, he cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce the fruit, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit so they will produce even more. Friends, he's talking about salvation here. It's Jesus. Verse 3, you have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Verse 4, remain in me and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine. Friends, you won't have the water. You know, if you think of a vine growing, if the limb's cut off, then it's gonna die, friends. It goes in the fire. That's what Jesus talks about here. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Friends, earlier today we rolled out to one of these cemeteries that I had been manicuring over the last year or so. It was a way of me kind of dealing with all the stress in my life, you know, losing my career, the diversity, equity, inclusion, all that evil. And so, friends, instead of just getting depressed and relapsing in the drinking or anything other manner of evil, Jesus put my butt to work out in the cemeteries. All right, friends, verse 5. Yes, I am the vine, and you are the branches. Those who remain in me, and I in them, will produce much fruit. Friends, think about the fruit of the Spirit. You know, if we remain in Jesus, we learn the forgiveness and all the great things that Jesus teaches us, we're going to have the blessings. But if we stray off into sin, well, you know, Jesus is going to prune us, and you know, all the pruning is going to go in the eternal fire, and we don't want that. Everybody, you want to be you want to be close to Jesus. Hey, whoever you are that just logged on, we're doing a little Bible study in the car line. We're in John chapter 15, and now we're down in verse 6. It says, anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. Friends, I told you, you don't want separation from Jesus. That's why you need it. You need to get righteous. It's not that hard, everybody. You just got to make time. You know, little Luke, he's been on me lately because I haven't been making the time to be reading the Bible, you know. I've been caught up in all my new duties, you know. I've basically been on vacation for the last 3 months, and now I'm back home with all the duties that I had before. So now we got to get back into it. Hey, whoever you are, I'm glad you're there. We're reading the Word right now. Quickly, we're in car line. You know, I'm just trying to get a couple minutes in, and I need to share it with y'all too. So look, friends, again, John 15. It says again, anyone who does not remain in me, that's Jesus here speaking, is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. Verse 7. But if you remain in me and my word remains in you, that's what we're trying to teach everyone here. And I do this for me, mainly, friends. Oh my gosh, so much time to go. But if you remain in me and my word remains in you, you may ask for anything you want, and it'll be granted. Wow, that's profound, friends, but it must be godly. Friends, I prayed. Every day I prayed that Jesus would reveal himself to my wife and put my family back together. And he did, friends. And this wasn't the first time Jesus has done this. This is like the third time. Truly, friends. I mean, sometimes we all got to learn our lessons the hard way, you know. But this was, I should have had a little more faith in Jesus. That was the lesson that I had to teach myself. Because Jesus told me all this was temporary over these last few months, the last few years. And at some point, this horrible lawsuit will be done, friends. It says, verse 8, when you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. Wow, friends. Friends, again, I was out in this, we're going to conclude there for now. I don't want to rush it, friends. Friends, we were out in the cemetery, the Cedar Grove Cemetery today, and I was getting back to work because when I was living down in a van down by the river, I had separation from all my duties, you know, and I was just trying to survive, basically. But friends, I'm going to go do some more plasma donations. It's easy money, and it helps people out. So look, friends, it's the Grizzly Army. We're in Carline. I don't know what to tell y'all. You stinking haters out there, I'm going to pray for y'all. Because every time y'all hate, and you hate, I just keep praying. And we just read it. Jesus will answer your prayers. I just stinking read it to you. Now look, friends, we got a work party coming up. Now, it ain't my work party. It's this gentleman I met. The Lord Jesus allowed us to combine our efforts. And his name is Mr. Robert Gaines, and he's a local Brandonite. Brandon, Florida, friends. If you don't know where it is, I'm sorry. I just can't, I don't know what to tell you. Brandon's like one of the most unique places in the world. And that's why he let the Sergeant Major, me, friends, Ronnie Messer, grow up here. Now, friends, we're going to be doing a community work party. It's his party, but I'm just kind of, we're kind of partnering up. He's got all the volunteers. It's just me, friends. I know I kid around about having a Grizzly Army. The local sheriff, they were terrified. They thought I was having an insurrection. But friends, it was just me and a couple other folks. But we're going to be cleaning up the Brandon Family Cemetery. Friends, it's an old Confederate Army cemetery. There's a lot of history there. Hold on, friends. These people thought I was a lunatic. Maybe I am. I had to take all the graphics off the truck. Let them know I've been rehabilitated and all the mental hospitals that I had to spend a little time in, friends. Friends, it's okay. Your Sergeant Major's good to go. I was incognito. I was in and out there like that, friends. There ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just a bunch of misunderstandings. But look, friends, mark it on your calendars. It's going to be March the 28th, right here in Brandon, Florida. We're going to be down at the Brandon Family Cemetery. It's a tiny little cemetery. There's a lot of Confederate Army soldiers out there. It's a private cemetery, but we got permission. We're going to go out there and get it squared away. So go on Facebook and subscribe or follow my friend. His organization is called the Brandon Roots. The Brandon Roots. These are the fellers and the ladies that are out there helping the Grizzly Army get the Seffner Cemetery all squared away. It's just amazing when God puts people together. So look, everybody, I got to pick up the children, and I might just go take them fishing. I don't know. We're doing fishing for souls right now, but I got to end the transmission, everybody, because I'm about to have a lot of ruckus in the Grizzly truck. I got to go, friends. I got to stinking go, and I know what you stinking did. You better be reading your stinking Bible. I'm going to get my stinking hands on you. I just know what you did. Oh, there's the teacher. I got to go, friends. I mean, for real. I don't want these people thinking I'm still a lunatic. But maybe I am, friends. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I am a little kooky. All right, friends, we got to go. We're going to do a Bible study later on sometime, maybe later on tonight. Hold on, friends. Where the hell are my... Oh, here they are. Here's the children. Friends, I can't let y'all see my children. I got a lot of safety concerns. Truly, I do, friends. But it's all true, friends. God put it all back together the way it needs to be. All right, friends, we gotta mosey on up here. It's all safety in the car line. So look, friends, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be good, and we'll see you. We'll see you when we see you. Okay, all right. Hey, what's up, Grizzly soldiers?
Dad!
All right, friends, we'll see you. All right, everybody.